Can I just say? Yeah. I'm gonna say that this isn't a joke, and it might sound like a joke, but it's not a joke, and it is a very serious thing. But I just want to throw this out there. Yeah, I didn't know that there was actually a rapper called Lil Peep. I thought that was a joke. I thought that because I'd heard like people just, you know, like you have all of these names, little this, little that, little, you know what I mean, little fucking.
So wait, who is he a rapper?
Oh, so you didn't know either? Bruv. No, anyway, there's
I know he's dead, and I Love Conan was like doing some shout outs and all that, but
I didn't even realise that Lil Peep really existed because he died.
Yeah,
so I know that sounds mad. I just thought that.
What song did he do?
I don't know, but when I went on his Instagram, he's got over 1 million followers.
That's so sad. How did he die?
Oh, drug overdose. Bear Zans.
So what, Pete? I heard, like for example, I took this Zan to go sleep.
21.
But somebody messaged me saying Zans are my favourite thing. And in my head, I was just like, how? Like, what? I don't get what they do other than make you sleepy and fall asleep. She was just like, oh, if you don't go to sleep on them, then they make you high or something.
Yeah. But do you know what? It wasn't just Zans though. It's a drug called fentanyl, which is like supposed to be more, it's like more dangerous than heroin apparently.
That's an opiate as well. It's got opium in it.
Is it, yeah? Yeah.
You know like, so much stuff. You're like Google.
Quite smart. You're quite smart. But like, I know that like people die of drug overdoses every day, yeah? And that you know, drugs within the music culture has always been a thing, yeah. But it seems like now it's more prominent in the lyrics and stuff, innit? Yeah, and just seeing someone that's just died of that just recently, to me, isn't a surprise because I was expecting someone to be dead. I'm expecting a bunch of rappers to die off this thing in the next year or whatever.
100. My man told me he's 21.
How old?
He was 21.
Serious?
These niggas need to wake the fuck up, fam. This shit ain't cool, bro. Like, taking all of these drugs to fit into certain social groups because potentially you might feel like an outcast or a black sheep or you don't feel a part of any community, and then people bring you in and say you're my friend and then they give you all these drugs. Those are not your friends, bro. Your friends are individuals that look out for the best interests of you. So that might necessarily mean that hanging around with me is not in the best interest of you. I've got loads of friends that I say, don't chill with me. Even especially like when I was doing things in my career and saying inappropriate things. I say to people, don't associate yourself with me. You're my brother. Yeah. Like, we're on two different paths. So niggas that do that are fucking trash. I know bare people that prey on the weak and like bring them in and say, yeah, take this and smoke this and do this and do that, and before they know it, they're so wrapped up in it and they've never felt any type of inclusion their whole entire life. They feel like this is the perception of love. Them niggas that do that to especially to young people, you lot are fucking trash, cuz I hope you fucking, I don't know. I don't even wish bad on you. But
it seems like to me, yeah, that enough rappers that like constantly talking about drugs, yeah, especially young rappers as well, are indirectly crying out for help.
Of course,
they are.
Like indirectly crying out for help.
It's not even indirect. They don't even know they're crying out for help.
It's a subconscious movement. It's a subconscious action. There's bare these rappers. I won't even say man's name. Back in the day, I would have said bare names, but I'm trying to change. I'm letting you know, there's bare unhappy people in the industry. Genuinely
over
unhappy.
Here as well.
Yes, that are on bare drugs. And you wouldn't even fucking know till you go to the toilet and they tell you it's baby powder. Yeah, right, Johnson's baby powder in the boys' toilet.
You know what it was though? Like back in the day, see, this is the thing. This might be my ignorance, yeah? But back in the day, it used to seem like people behind the music industry was the ones that were on the drugs. The majority of the time.
Everyone
was like the white people in the office, or you know what I mean, people that was in the back just doing shit, calling the shots or whatnot. It seemed like it was those were the people that were doing it, or people that had money.
Bro, everyone was doing it, but it wasn't socially acceptable. Now, it is becoming socially acceptable. People are doing it quite prominently in front of camera and in their lyrics because you're not going to be considered weird for doing it now. But I'm letting you know, I'm an 80s baby, 1985, man's 32. You're fucking weird to me, bro.
When was the part when it became acceptable? Like, what year? Roughly?
The Little B era. So when Little B came in and my man was rapping off beat, and then music became more inclusive to an audience that it didn't usually involve in hip-hop, that audience does weird stuff, bro. And like, they got involved and all of a sudden, and Little B is very, very, very influential. He's a fucking sick, I fucking love Little B. But unfortunately, some of the people he was inviting in good measure were doing some weird stuff, and then once they're involved and like Little B's the wave, it's like, no, this is what you do when you listen to this type of music. Before you know it, you've got a Little B has birthed bare people, you know.
Yeah.
Bare man owe their careers to the bass god, fam.
Yeah,
so then what he's done, he's birthed a bag of people that think is acceptable to carry out this type of lifestyle. And what they don't understand is, I don't know Little Peep, but Donnie's died at 21. Donnie has he got a kid?
Nah, I don't think
Was
so.
he married? No, but I don't think...
He's got a girl, though. He's got a girl. He's got a girl.
He had a
The girl was
girlfriend.
mad pretty, by the way.
He had a girlfriend, yeah?
Yeah.
So he had a
when you look
girlfriend.
at some of the things that some of the
It's sad, bro. What I'm
comments
saying...
underneath his pictures.
It's
mad,
fucking
bruv.
sad.
The dude looked like he was fucking bawling out for help, bro.
Bro, and do you know what? It's so mad, yeah? All of my brethren, if they do certain things
Yeah.
and I don't rate it, I will tell you, fam. Whether it's a song, whether it's a drug overdose,
When I
whether it's
die,
the way you
you'll
speak
love
to your
me.
mum.
He said that.
Yeah. I just took honey and shrooms. Literally, 2
Listen,
days ago.
I hear what everyone's saying.
There's a video. Look, there's a video of him literally just putting, I think that's fentanyl, in his mouth.
Well, do you know what? Guess what? He's responsible for his actions.
Of course he is.
So
Of course he is.
if you're doing this, it's your fault, bruv. You killed yourself.
No, I hear you,
think
Dan.
so?
Yeah.
Dan, he did kill himself. Basically, what Dan is saying is the fucking truth. But I'll tell you what, and I'll tell you what as well. Sometimes, and we've all been there at our points, just that we're stronger characters. Well, I like to think we're stronger characters. We've been at a time in our lives when shit could have gone left. Like when I got kicked out from my house, I've got no job, I'm not making no money, I don't know what to do, I'm on a fucking park bench with a bag full of clothes. Shit could have gone left. But because I've got the mental strength to say, life can't defeat me. In fact, no one can defeat me. I'll carry on and I'll pursue what I have to do for me. Fuck what everyone thinks. I'm going on. But I can't expect everyone to have that mentality. And I've been around some niggas where shit's gone left and all of a sudden, your brethren that was the cool guy in school that was sick at football's in a mad home.
All right, can I just?
However, here's the thing: these men are making peas.
Yeah.
Them man, one thing these men don't have to worry about is the peas.
But if money is not even...
Can I just throw this
I
to
know,
you?
money is not the problem.
It's not the problem, but it
Do you know what money
solves
can't
a
buy?
lot of problems.
No, it doesn't. Do you know what money can't
Sometimes
buy?
it makes it worse.
Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what money can't buy? It can't buy peace of mind. You can go Argos, you can go Selfridges, you can go fucking House of Fraser. You can't buy peace of mind. And people don't understand. Without peace of mind, you can't get perspective. Without perspective, you don't even know where the fuck you're going. If you don't know where you're going, you're stagnant. So as much as money you make in your life, like outside of everything, just in life, you're making no progression. I know certain niggas that have had the same situation with girls for 10 years. They're still successful in business. They make a hell of a lot of money, but they've not settled down. They've got no kids. Like, they just don't know where their life's going apart from professionally. It's so sad. Work is their escapism from life. But eventually, your career's going to be over and you have life. So what do you do
I
then?
just want to throw this to you, though, yeah? Because I do agree with what you're saying to a degree about them killing themselves, yeah?
Yeah.
But are we not... We have to include the mental illness in it as well, though. Because some of these kids are actually just mentally ill.
Yeah, but a lot of
Some of
people
them.
in general are mentally ill. Do you see what I'm saying? Or have mental flipping instabilities at some point. But these lot use theirs and bang it on Instagram.
And do you know what sort of...
Yeah,
do you know
but if
what
you're mentally ill, that's what
They
you're
think
going to do.
That's them trying to deal with it. Obviously, they clearly don't know how to, but that's what they're trying to do.
But
I don't
Callum,
even
do you
know if they're
what's so
trying to
fu-
deal with it. I think they're just
They're
trying
not.
to
No,
publicise
that's
it.
what I'm saying. They don't know that's what
Yeah.
they're trying to do, but that's
That's a
their way of
subconscious thing.
telling-
Yeah.
But Callum, do you know what's so sad? We're living in a day and age, yeah, where things that are bad are considered cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you know
yeah.
some of the things that people do as an
Hasn't
outcry.
that always been the case, though, Paul?
No, it has, but it's really bad now. It's really bad now. Niggas need to wake the fuck up. It is bad now. So therefore, you need some of the things that are a genuine cries for attention. There's another group of people that look at that cry attention, like for example, you love me when I'm dead. That's a cry for attention to help me, but there's a bag of niggas that are looking at like, that's cool. So they take on that same fucking mode now. So you know what the problem is? I don't even know who the fuck needs help. I can't tell the difference between the person that thinks it's cool and the person that needs help. So now I'm in a fucking situation like my man was when he was in fucking Thailand, where I can't tell the difference between a girl and a fucking boy. What the fuck do I do? So more time, people do nothing. So I can't even blame them. So then it really, truly does emphasize Dan's point a lot more. We're killing ourselves. We have to have the mental stability to know, because we've got Google. To my right, I've got
Isn't
Google.
it idealistic?
You gotta know.
Isn't it idealistic? You're saying we have to have the mental stability, but that's
We
idealistic.
do have to. No. But what I'm saying is correct. We do have to have the mental stability. I can appreciate not everyone's gonna have it, but we have to have it. Otherwise, you're 21 years old and you're dead.
So what if you can't? What if you don't have it?
But you'll have awareness. I don't expect you to know what the answers is, but I expect you to have the awareness for the simple fact that within your path of doing what you're doing, there's going to be at least 2 or 3 times where someone has looked at you and said, "You're right, bro. but you've chose to ignore it for whatever reason. You cannot ignore it. You can't. Because then you're 21 years old and you got I Love McConan saying, my God, I'm going to miss Little Peep. And I'm on Twitter like, who the fuck's Little Peep? I've come here and also having a discussion about it. I find out he's 21. I find out he's got a girlfriend. All of these, that's your legacy you've left behind. Is that what niggas want to leave behind? I was a fucking druggie.
Yeah.
And I died at 21, I'm called Little Peep.
I'm expecting Bear Man to die from...
So am I.
From drug overdose.
So am I. Look at Lil Wayne the other day.
It's like so socially accepted now.
It's getting a bit much.
It's getting
now,
bad, bro. And a lot of people.
Lil Wayne's been having seizures though.
But Lil Wayne is clearly crying out for help, and unfortunately,
has he not slowed down? What happened to him? Did something happen to him recently?
No,
this is your health. This is your health. It's not a joke. Like, this isn't you going out and doing outrageous stuff like standing on fucking buildings with blue hair. Like, this is you actually ruining the only body you'll ever have.
Yeah.
Ever.
You know what I'm saying?
It's mad because like right now, in our scene, I'm starting to feel like I'm seeing it so like a lot more prominently recently amongst like MCs and rappers and that here. Whereas before, it never like, man would smoke a bit of weed here and there, you know what I mean? You might know there might be a one don in the clique that sniffs Charlie, a one don. Yeah, but now it feels like a lot of rappers and MCs right now are proper on the drugs thing, boy. And like, although nobody here has died from it yet, like from our scene
that we know of
yet. Yeah, that we know of.
Because people could have died.
Correct me if I'm wrong though, because there might be one person, I don't know.
I can't. No, you're right. You're right. You're thinking of like top line.
Yeah. But like, I feel like it's coming, bro.
100%.
I don't wish it on anyone, but I feel like it's coming. And then what happens then?
Can you remember someone?
Yeah, no. Do you know what? With America though, they actually have a prescription drug problem there, like beyond just a rap game.
Yeah, well, I guess you're right. Yeah, I hear that still.
Like here, we don't have the NHS pushing prescription drugs on us. Do you know what I mean? There, you've got like, they can have fentanyl or some other drugs with actual opium in it. So you go in there because you've had a car accident or something. You could leave the hospital hooked on opiates. Do you know what I mean?
It's mad, isn't it?
So now you've got a physical addiction to something.
That kind of thing definitely does happen here. It's happened in my family, but nowhere near as much. Yeah.
But the reason why it would never be as much as America, look how fucking big America is.
Could you elaborate though? What do you mean?
So my sister was in quite a serious car accident, and like, long story short, she was a year or so down the line. She ended up severely addicted to multiple prescription drugs to the point where she attempted suicide for like 6 months.
Serious?
Yeah, and she had no problem before with any kind of drug addiction. But through what she'd been prescribed, her body and her mind had become completely dependent.
But you know what? I genuinely think it starts within the mind. For example, I picked up the habit of weed through probably being depressed in the industry, like genuinely depressed. And then that was my escapism.
Yeah,
so
sorry, go on anyway.
I would say, I reckon, I don't want to say depression, but I was just a bit confused by everything that's happening in my life. And my mind was moving at 1,000,000 miles per hour. Boom, 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 boom. Chucky would talk to me, and I never had time to actually just analyze things. Through smoking weed, it slowed me down. It genuinely slowed me down. And then I took more time to appreciate things, so on and so forth. And
that's why people are so, like, are big advocates of weed, isn't it? Because they're saying that you can't find anyone documented dying from weed smoke. Not that anyone knows of.
Yeah, but
so that's why Black the Whipper goes so hard, because it's so like, bruv, man don't die from this thing. So man die from pills and fentanyl,
all of that shit. Man can die from alcohol. But I'm not trying to encourage anyone to smoke weed. By the way, I'm not trying to say smoke weed. Not. And I even cut down because it was too much of something's good for nothing. Like you're not gonna. So I actually had to cut down. But the one thing I do now is
that why you said it slows you down? Like,
it slows you down completely to the point where work might not even. And I've got kids. I can't afford to be slowed down when it comes to my kids and providing for my family and so on and so forth. What it is now is a good way of me socializing with certain people, or it adds to a social atmosphere. But the moment I feel it's hindering my health, or the moment I feel that it's not allowing me to execute what I need to execute, Chucky, on my kid's life is done. Finito. See you later. I'm not on it. And I feel people need to develop that mental strength any way in which they can. They need to find out the thing that they're passionate about and they love and say, is anything worth losing this?
Yeah.
And that's what I've got. I've got 2 beautiful sons. I've got a wonderful career. I've got a great set of friends with people like yourself and even racist Callum. And I just say to myself, Is it worth me losing all over this over an addiction that I, to be fair,
But
I
you know
have
the problem is,
not done
though?
longer than I have done?
I don't think man are genuinely thinking about addiction when they start doing it.
Because no one's not promoting this, bro.
I just think that it's just their idea of having fun, which
But
then
Chucky,
leads to addiction.
How many podcasts do you listen to where man are actually seriously talking about things like this? All the shit that is popular on the net is fuckery. It's all fuckery. No one don't say nothing substantial, bruv. Everyone says everything to become popular because you're obsessed with numbers. So if it means selling out your own fucking soul and say take these drugs and all of that, look at Lil Pump, Gucci Man, Gucci. It's bollocks, bruv. It's all fucking bollocks. But we know it's gonna get numbers. It's gonna turn up in the clubs. It's gonna be part of that sort of culture of taking Zans and all that other crap. And people do it because they want to feel inclusive. They don't want to feel like, oh, I'm not cool and all this other bullshit, fam.
Is there a conversation that can be had?
Well done, my brother. You come in like fucking Matrix
Yeah,
2019, fam.
Is there a conversation?
We're good.
Yeah, I'm good, brother. Is there a conversation that can be had to reduce it though? Because I don't particularly think that there is. I think that there's in conversation you can stop, maybe prevent one person from however many thousands of people. Which I know that people then say, if you can reach one person, then that's an amazing thing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But I don't know. Like when man are in it, it's like almost like we're in it and you just don't get it. You don't get it.
No, but I do get it. And the killer is.
Do you know what I mean?
But
though?
do you know why people say you don't get it? It's fear. Do you know how much people are afraid to take a leap of faith and say this is what I want to do? So much niggas are afraid. They're so afraid of me being right, they'll say I'm wrong. They're so afraid of potentially realizing that they're in the wrong, I'll be in the wrong. They're so afraid of doing what they actually genuinely want to do because they don't want to lose this new cool set of friends that they got. They'll push me away. These times, I'm the nigga with a fucking rope saying get out of the hole. But you're not aware of it until you realize about something you're passionate about and you potentially lose it. I see niggas change because all of a sudden they lose distance between their kids. They look at their career, they're like, fucking hell, my career's on. I know some footballers that have been addicted to something. Their career has fucking been dampened. They've broke up with their gal. They've got rid of everything and brought it back down to the basics. What do I need to do to build from? And now they're making bare money again, playing top level football. People are afraid to make drastic changes in their life because they're comfortable, regardless of what it is. They feel like, oh, don't worry, I'll do it tomorrow. Fuck that attitude. If you have a severe drug addiction, which is taken away from who you are, the only person that can stop it is you. So every single day, you still hang around with that same group of people and for 12 hours do fucking nothing. And I've seen it, bro. I've been in it. Ask Vuj. We've been in houses where niggas do nothing. They just sit down, talk about the things they're going to do, but they move around with the cool crowds. So they'll be around the ASAP Rockies and all of this. But if you wasn't there, no one would have missed you. You're playing no integral part. Niggas need to wake up, fam. This drug thing is not cool.
That's
wake
real.
The
That's
fuck
gospel
up.
still. I am a little bit worried when I think about the fact that, like, if we've come to this, yeah, if it's socially acceptable for the people that we deem as the coolest to be drug addicts and crackheads, yeah, then what's next?
Oh, we're fucked. We are fucked. Chucky, put it this way. One person I know you fucking love is your younger brother.
Yeah.
Imagine you was addicted to something that's not necessarily good and you don't really need it, which affected the relationship between your brother. Would you sacrifice it?
I'd everything to repair the relationship with me and my brother.
Now that's what niggas need to think about. What are they losing out from being addicted to something that not if there's certain guys that I see drop. Have you not seen them dons that drop out their friends and all of a sudden they're with a new set of people and they've got a bad relationship with their mum now? If they actually sit down and wake up and be like, what have I lost? Not what have I gained, what have I lost? And look about what they've lost and think to themselves, is this what I've lost in 6 months? What am I going to lose in a year? What am I going to lose in 2 years? Think about it. 10 years from now, where the fuck am I going to be?
Yeah.
If niggas sat and thought like that for a second rather than all the things they're gaining, I swear to God, life would be so
But as I
different.
said, enough man just are on that because they deem it as fun, and they don't particularly think that there's an addiction there until it starts to get out of hand. Do you get me? Because let's not get it twisted. Man can actually go out and maybe pop a pill here and there and just enjoy that for that moment and not be dependent on it. But it gets to a point where it starts to get out of hand.
Aye.
And then when it gets out of hand, what happens then? And then it's even worse when you're an influencer. Because then as a young buck, you're looking at the person that you're influenced by and they look like the coolest person in the world. They're fucking smashing it right now and they're smashed to bits off drugs. It looks cool. Like, there's an element of it when it is controlled or when it looks controlled, there's a small element of it that I understand from little kids that might think, right, that just looks mad cool.
I get
but
it
it's a fucked up thing to be dependent on in your life.
I understand why it looks cool, but it doesn't look cool. Does that make sense?
I hear you. I hear that. I know.
I understand why it
looks.
looks cool, but it doesn't look cool. It actually doesn't look cool. Nothing about it looks cool. All these dons that dress in all black and take fucking pictures in their staircases and try and be elusive, it doesn't look cool to me. If I look at it as a fucking human being on planet Earth that wants to unite the world and move forward progressively, I look at that photo and say,
yes, man.
How fucking lost are you? You're isolating yourself from the world for numbers, for social significance, for all the things that you can't even do anything with. What the fuck is social significance amongst people that are fucking tramps anyway? What the fuck is that?
The last thing I want to do is to look at like either a young buck that's coming up from our scene, yeah, right, or an old buck that's been here for time that I proper respect or whatnot, and think, rah, like man just looks like a bitty, like, because I know what that means. I know what it means when I was younger and man around me was doing certain things or whatnot, like in terms of selling drugs and that. I know how they were talking about some of their clients. Man are bitties, man are crackheads, man are this.
Bam!
But this is what man is turning into. Am I doing that man thing now? I am, innit?
Nah.
Yeah,
just do that right there.
you got killed the other day, innit?
It wasn't me, it was crap.
It was crap, sorry, yeah. No,
I
you're
don't
right.
know.
I
What's
can't
the
even lie to you,
solution?
you're right. What's the solution? Unfortunately, the procedure that's been put in place for us to get to the point we're at right now, we need to reverse that. So if this has been happening for 5 years, don't expect another change for about 5-6 years, because you need to reverse it. So therefore, you need to convince people. Because when people were convinced this was the right thing to do, they put it into practice and they became addicted. We now have to convince people this is the wrong thing to do, but get them to put that to be in practice and then get addicted to that lifestyle, which is a whole different thing, because their mental state right now is at a point where they're like, oh, I don't want to be the person I was yesterday. These times they can't even remember the person they were yesterday because it's all fucking off their head, fam.
Enough man don't even have a dad, let alone
It's mad.
Like a father figure to be able to speak to and tell them, rah, this is what's going on in my life or whatever,
It's
and
mad.
not be judged. And that's quite a deep thing when you proper check it.
Deep.
You know?
And then even down to the role models you did have, like, were kind of similar to maybe what Chucky had as well. There's Bear Road, man. So if you was a nitty, man's a nitty. So imagine now you become a nitty by accident. Are you going to tell the man that you used to roll with, like, we're calling people nitties back in it? You're going to go and chill with the nitties now because that's what you are. You're too afraid to go and tell your old school friend I'm a nitty. Because it's like, go away, cuz you're not with us no more. So before that happens, I might as well run over there with them now. That's what I think these lot, they're a bag of popular nitties, fam. They're just popular nitties.
Yeah.
Nitties with money.
That's true.
Nitties, that's all they are. That's why I can't, for me.
What's a nitty?
Oh, what's a nitty? A nitty is you know them dons that just on bare drugs when you see them in the streets and so on and so forth. That's how we used to refer to them when I was younger. Now I'm aware that they're actually people with genuine problems and they need to be helped. But when I was younger, them man were nitties to me. So if I look at it from the perspective of a young person, I would just look at these dons if I was 16 years old. You're just a popular nitty, fam. Man can't rate you. Because you do everything a nitty does, but you might have good music or you might have good fashion sense. Because I don't give a damn, because when Instagram comes off, I got to chat to you. What am I going to chat about? Because you're a nitty, fam. And that's just the way my old school people look at them.